In today's video, guys, I'm going to go over the do's and don'ts when buying the 4 for 20 or the 4 for 40 GameStop deal on pre-owned games that's been going on for quite some time now, and it ends sometime at the end of the month. Let's get started. What is going on, guys? Jim here with a video today. And yes, we're going to be doing the 4 for 20 or 4 for 40, which is honestly better in my personal opinion because there are much better games at $20 and under. So pretty much if you get $20 games and under, you will get 4 of them for $40. And also if you do the $10 ones, which we've seen many times before, you get 4 for 20 that are $5 each initially. So there's so many things to talk about in this video. I don't want to waste any time, but this video is kind of a in-depth version of the one I did before. If you haven't seen that one, I'll put in the description below. I was going over this sale when it first started, but now let's talk about some do's and don'ts and definitely games I would recommend. Before we get started today's video, guys, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below by the end of the video which of these do's or don'ts you have followed and not followed, and let me know if you can add any more do's and don'ts to this list. Let's get started. All right, guys, before we get started, let's talk about some key things to know. It is buy 4 used games that are $10 and under for $20. So yes, you get them pretty much for $5 each if you do the math. Buy 4 used games for $20 and under is obviously going to be for $40. So pretty much you buy 4 used games for $40, they have to be 20 and under. So there's 2 different deals. Obviously, my favorite of the 2 deals, if I had to pick, would definitely be the $20 and under, because obviously you're getting $20 games for $10 games, which we don't see much. Also, this is only on used games. So if you're looking for new games, this is not the right deal for you. All consoles count towards the sale. Yes, you can find games from PS4 to PS5 to Switch to 3DS to even older stuff like 360 and PS3 and Wii. It's pretty cool. Rare and hard to find games might be out of stock, so keep in mind at the time of this recording, this is definitely a follow-up to the other video I did, so this is definitely going to have less stock on certain rare titles, but they might have them in store. Also, check store for best opportunity if you're looking for a certain game. That would definitely be your best bet over the online portion. And last, only games, not accessories and consoles. It's pretty obvious, but I want to point that out there real quick. Let's start out with some things you should do with this sale. So these are things I would recommend doing with this sale. Obviously, it's going to cover the 4 for 20 and the 4 for 40. So let's get started. Things you should do, number 1, buy at prices that are $17 to $20 for the 4 games that are 20 and under for 4 for 40. Yes, this is a very important thing, because if you buy, say, Mario Rabbids for 20, you got Red Dead Redemption 2 here for 19, we have God of War for 18, and we have Grand Theft Auto 5 for 17. These are all examples. These are good examples, because after Grand Theft Auto, I would not recommend going any lower in price, because you're going to lose the actual profit amount you want to make out of the sale. You want to make sure you get the best price games for this sale. You don't want to get games that are under 15. I would say 15 is the very limit. Anything under 15 we'll talk about in the don't section, but yes, anything under 15 is really going to minimize this deal from being the greatest you can get it for. So obviously these 4 games here I would recommend as an examples in price. I wouldn't go too much lower than the Grand Theft Auto 5 price seen here at $17. I would say 15 and up if you have to go with $15 games, like $15 or $16 games. Like Spider-Man's $15, I would definitely get that. But anything under 15, I would definitely not recommend for the sale, because you want to get the most money out of this deal as much as possible, as much as you can. Things you should do, number 2, buy at prices that are $7 to $10 for the 4 games for under $20. So obviously these games are going to be the games that are under $10, not games that are under $20. So a lot less room to work with here, because there is only games that are under $10. So obviously I got Smash Brothers on the 3DS, which I'm shocked is still in stock, for $10. Far Cry 4 for $9. As you see, PlayStation VR Worlds is $8, and we got Monster Hunter World, just a base game, for $7. Anything under $7 is very crucial to skip, because you're just going to, say you get a $6 game, 6, 12, 18, 24, and what? It's 4 for 20. You're not making much of a deal there. But if you do 9, 18, 27, 36, that's much more than 20. This is definitely going to be a lot less room to find games versus the other one where they had $20 games, 19, 18, 17. There's so many games in that range versus this range. A lot less good games, I would say, or amazing games in this ranking price range. We're going to talk about the games I would recommend for each of the prices when we get later in the video, though. Things you should do, number 3, check that you have the right price range on the filter on the GameStop website. Take a look at these arrows pointing at pre-owned, in stock, $17 through $20, and you see over there it says 947 results. I have high to low, so if you want to find the games at the best price online, if you're worried about getting games that are under those thresholds of $15 for the 4 for 40 and the 4 for 20 of the games that are under $7. I would definitely consider using this filter right here on the GameStop site. Click filter, click the price range, have it $17 through $20 custom, have it in stock only, and have it pre-owned games obviously only. Have it high to low, and you'll see 947 results at the time of this recording, and then you can get your games mixed in the right way that way. This is obviously going to be the example for games that are between $17 and $20, which is obviously the first thing we talked about in the video. Things you should do, number 4, check your games that are limited availability and pick up in-store options. This is something I see very often in the comment section about why does it say in-store only, why does it say limited availability. I'm going to try to go into that as much as I can, but Godfather Don's Edition 360, it says pick up in store only. That's obviously going to be at your local store only if it's there. It could be in a 100-mile radius, could be in freaking 3,000 miles away, who knows, it could be so far away. And the limited availability, honestly, is the same thing. I don't know why they have it marked any differently. If you guys know why they're both marked like that, let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to know this, because it just seems like the same thing. Usually limited availability means they have a couple left that you can get online, like Target or something has that like written sometimes, and it works to purchase it, but you can't even purchase limited availability games right now at all, so it doesn't make sense. So yes, make sure you look out for these two written things in orange and red. Those are very important if you're looking for games. And if you see these right here, especially on the app that can confuse you, it's definitely out of stock. Things you should do, number 5, check in store if you're worried about a case / artwork for your video game. So if you're looking at this little shelf as an example here, there are games with cases. Obviously there's games without cases that are probably in the other way at the, like in a row down there somewhere. But if you're looking for a game with a case, you're better off going online, because you know the deal when you get games online. You know how random it is. Obviously, this is just an example picture. There's no 3 for 15 deal. Just keep that in mind. That's just a random picture I found. And to get a case in general, go to the store. Don't even fool around with the online, because it's definitely going to be something that you're going to be disappointed with. I mean, I'm getting new games in the mail that don't even come with cases anymore. That's just a new level for GameStop with that. But you guys saw the video with the Hat in Time was in a blank case. That was just, I've never seen that before. The new game, I've never seen that. I've seen with used games. It's obviously video game consumers trade their games in without cases sometimes, which obviously is not going to be able to have a case in store for you when you buy it, but not when it's a new game. That's just weird. Things you should do, number 6, check for price changes that randomly could happen throughout the week. I'm going to give you guys an example of something I talked about 4 or 5 days ago. Cash big on trades. This is an example of something that has nothing to do with the sale, but you see how it says here, get the same cash value as credit on trades. If you look over here, this is what you see on the GameStop site now, and it says get cash or credit for trades. So obviously they like to change stuff on the fly, and there is your example of one of the biggest things I've seen in a while. Let's continue with things you should not do when it comes to the 4 for 20 and 4 for 40 sale. This is stuff I would highly recommend not doing, and this is very important stuff as well. Things you should not do, number 1, buy games priced under $15 when the deal is buy 4 for 40, aka when the games are $20 each. You see Uncharted Nathan Drake collection here, some other game here. Games are obviously $13, $12, and $11. You do not want to go down this low when it comes to the 4 for 40 sale. Honestly, these games here are not meant for either of the sales, because obviously the other sale, that's games that are under $10 wouldn't work here. And obviously the games that are under $20 are way too far away from the price threshold I would say you should even mess with. I wouldn't even mess with these prices. They're too low. Things you should not do, number 2, buy games priced under $6 when the deal is buy 4 for 20. Obviously, these games are going to be $10 and under. We talked about it before. Anything 10, 9, or 8 or 7 is probably the limit I would go. As you see here, we have Arkham City, one of my favorite games of all time, for 99 cents. That's literally the price of a soda. Well, that was probably 5 years ago of a soda, but obviously, Arkham City, I would not mess with this sale for $3.60. Civilization's $2. NHL 15 is $3. And Just Dance 16 is $4. These games are way too cheap. Let me tell you real quick, this is even worse if you do it this way than get some of the $15, $16, or $14 games by accident with the other sale. This right here is, if say you get 4 Just Dances, it's 4, 8, 12, $16. You're already losing $4 than the actual real deal. And if you continue with that, it just gets worse. 3, 6, 9, 12 for NHL. So you got 3, 4 of those. You're obviously way under $20. And then obviously it gets worse. $8 for the Civilization, and then only $4 if you got the Arkham City games. I'm just giving you an example. If you got 4 of each of these games, obviously it would be the worst price range you would ever want to deal with. Things you should not do, number 3, buying games online expecting an original case and all the stuff a game is supposed to come with. Obviously, we kind of talked about this before. Going to the store obviously is your best bet. Give an example example here of Watch Dogs Legion. Here's a game with a case that you can possibly find in store more likely than actual online. If you look over here on the right side, you see Watch Dogs Legion with the PS4 logo, and it says pre-owned at the top. Expect this when ordering online. Do not expect anything different when it comes to GameStop, when it comes to the online used games. Like I said, they're doing it with new games, giving no cases now, so expect the used games to be that way as well. Things you should not do, number 4, thinking the return process is going to be easy. This is probably one of the things I would try to avoid as most as possible, unless you're trying to get, let's say, that your game doesn't work or something's wrong with it, obviously, then return it. But you're only going to get $10 back per game if you do the 4 for $40, because obviously you only paid 4 for $40, so therefore you only pay $10 each. But say you bought Red Dead, Mario Rabbids, GTA 5, and God of War, and you want to get a game that's the same price, I don't know how it's going to work. The return process is going to be a nightmare for this. Like, say 2 of them don't work, and say they don't have those games and you don't want anything else, they're just going to give you $10 back. You're going to feel like you got gypped in the long run. Make sure when you get these games to test them out right away, and if they don't work, go to your local store and exchange for the same game. It's probably your best bet. Same thing over here with games that are under $10. Say Smash doesn't work for some reason on the 3DS, you obviously will get $5 back for that one, or Far Cry, or VR Worlds or Monster Hunter. You're just going to get $5 back per game on that side. So you're going to get $10 back for each of the games on the left side here, and the right side you're going to gain $5 back per game on the right side. Things you should not do, number 5. This sale may not be for everyone. Some may like it, some may not. This idea of pre-owned games for most people might be good. Maybe for some it might not be. Honestly, for me, it's not really that good of a deal because I don't like pre-owned games. I've had so many weird experiences, from having Hershey bars inside my video game case to finding trash rolled up inside another case. I've seen some crazy stuff from online and in store. And sometimes in store, they won't even let me look at the game, and it just makes me feel like it's not worth it. But a big but here. I might do the sale for games on Switch and 3DS since they're cartridges versus discs, but I also might get games on PS4 since I have a PS4 and a PS5, so I can play them on the PS4, and it might be less hectic to worry about having it on the PS5. I know it sounds like anxiety, but it's definitely anxiety because the PS5 is not a cheap system, and I want to make sure games are only new that go into that thing. So as you see right here, if you're okay with games, like on the right side here with the arrow pointing at it, then that's your online, probably most likely scenario. In store, you might get a case. If you see one, you see one. But if you want a new game, which I try to go for because new games do have good deals these days versus back in the day when they were just really expensive and the used games were the best prices. If you look at Watch Dogs Legion, how you can see it's got plastic on here, you can get this game honestly for about $7 brand new versus used right now for $7. So it's like you just got to do your homework to make sure if it's worth getting certain used games over new games. So pretty much 2 things here. If you're not into pre-owned games, the sale's not for you. And also, if you are looking to see a difference, if there is a big difference on a pre-owned and a new game, definitely check your store and check other sites to be sure about it, because you might be losing out by getting Watch Dogs Legion used, where you can go on eBay and get it brand new for $8. Who knows? So this one's a little confusing, I know, but if you're into the used games, the sale is definitely probably going to be for you. I mean, it's a great deal. I mean, you got 4 for $20, you got 4 for $40, especially 4 for $40, because you can get some Switch, you can get some of the 3DS games that are harder to find. You can get, we're going to talk about the games I would recommend when we get a little further, but let's continue. Things you should not do, number 6. If you're looking forward to certain games and the PlayStation VR 2, or even the next Pokemon set, you probably should be careful how many games you purchase with this sale. Now, I'm not saying you should definitely skip it or be careful. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to get a bunch of games used and then maybe wait on the games that are coming out and then skip the VR, who knows? I mean, there's just so much coming out. There's so many things coming out. That's why I haven't tried this sale yet, because I think there's just so much things coming out. Like, for example, Fire Emblem Engage comes out on January 20th. I know some subscribers on the channel and viewers like this game, so that's a big one. Then you got Forspoken. That I played the demo. That game's amazing. It's like Horizon and with magic. It's so unique. It's very unique in its own right. That comes out 4 days later after the 20th, and then you got Dead Space reboot on the 27th. Everyone's talking about, and then you got Hogwarts, which is like a week after that. So obviously the sale ends around Hogwarts a little before that. But then you got to realize if you buy too many games on the sale, you're risking the PlayStation VR 2, $550 plus tax of how much that thing costs. That thing, and then the games, VR, in my opinion, and the games for the VR, and Forspoken and Harry Potter and Dead Space are probably what's keeping me from doing this sale, to be honest. Okay, so finishing off this video, we're going to talk about 10 games I would get on the games that are under $10, the 4 for $20. Pretty much these games are all $5 each. Let's go through these and talk about them. Persona 5. I'm no stranger to Persona 5. Persona 5 is one of the best games I've ever played. If you haven't played Persona, you're missing out on one of the best JRPG games. If you're not into turn-based games, this game will get you into that. Trust me. Up next, we have God of War Collection. This is God of War 1 and 2 for the PS3. $5. Obviously, these games are all going to be $5 when you do the 4 for $20. That's a great one to pick up. I mean, classic God of War. And then you got, listen to this one, Crash Insane Trilogy. This game was, what, $35 used like just a month ago? $10 for this game? I mean, this is a $5 game when you do 4 for $20. This is insane. The Insane Trilogy, I know it's not the PlayStation version or the Switch version, but the Xbox version is no different. And it also comes with some DLC levels that have been added for free. So keep that in mind. That's an excellent, excellent price. And speaking of excellent price, we continue. We have Rise of the Tomb Raider for $10, which will make it $5. This is the 20-year celebration of all the DLC. An excellent game. Has the VR with it too. That's cool. And then we continue with the Aladdin and Lion King collection for $10, which obviously would be $5 as well if you do the 4 for $20. The only thing about the Aladdin and Lion King thing is missing two things. Obviously, if you want to pay $10 more, you can possibly find the one with Jungle Book and the Aladdin that has the Super Nintendo version. But here it stands right here. It's in stock for $10. Definitely pick it up because you're getting it for $5. Again, Blood and Truth would be $5 if you did the sale as well. It's one of the best VR games. It's not even coming to PSVR 2. It's not even confirmed. It's going to be one of the hidden gems on the PSVR 1, in my opinion. Up next, we have Forza Horizon 3. This is one of my favorite Forzas, and this one is an exclusive to Xbox console. Obviously, it's on PC, but we're talking about consoles. It's only on the console for Xbox. And then we got one of my favorite racing games, hands down better than GT Sport and GT7. I'm hands down way better. Up next, Super Mario 3D World. Obviously, it's like $60 on the Switch, but if you want to get it for $10 on the Wii U, it's a really good deal, and it doesn't even look that bad on the Wii U. Up next, Quantum Break for $10. This is another Xbox exclusive. Honestly, this is a really unique game, and it's very unique. It's like time travel in a way. It's very confusing, like time rewinds and stuff. It's very confusing and convoluted, but it's actually a really, really good game. And it's only on Xbox, even on PlayStation. And speaking of PlayStation, we're ending off with Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition on the PlayStation 3. I played Midnight Club back in the day, and I can tell you that this is definitely worth the price, for sure, even today. Here we're going to finish off with 14 games I highly recommend that are 4 for $40. These games are obviously going to be the games that are 20 and under. And initially, you're pretty much going to get them for $10 at the end. So $10 for each of these games if you do the 4 for $40 in stacks. First, we're starting with Resident Evil 7 VR. This is the Biohazard Gold Edition. This game has the best VR in the PSVR 1. I don't even think it's on the Oculus or the MetaQuest or anything. It's not even coming to VR 2. We're getting Village instead. So I don't think they're going to backtrack and go to 7. So 7 is going to stay as an exclusive VR title for now on the PlayStation VR. So if you don't have it, definitely pick it up. Resident Evil 2, speaking of Resident Evil, this one I'm highly recommending because this is the remake. And obviously the fourth one's coming out. Also the third one I would pick as well. I just couldn't have room for it in there. But yeah, the second one and the third remake, definitely pick them up. They're obviously going to only be $10 when it's said and done with the sale. So that is an amazing thing because they upgrade to PS5 for free. Speaking of upgrade to different consoles for free, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. This is the Xbox Series X upgrade free version. So keep in mind, there is no PlayStation version on this list because the PlayStation version is over that threshold of $20. This is at the absolute price limit at $20. You're getting this game for $10. It counts 4 for $40. Keep in mind, you're getting the Series X upgrade for free, or S. It's amazing. Speaking of upgrades, Cyberpunk 2077. Again, they fixed this game up many times over again, and they obviously brought out the next-gen consoles, free upgrade. So if you get this game for $10, obviously we've seen it for $10 on a deal of the day, but now they're going to start upping the price because it's on PS5, just like Witcher. Again, another game here, GTA 5 for $10 after they were saying this game was going to be $40 if you didn't get it quick enough on PS5. Well, the joke's on all of us because this game's $10 right now used, and it's still available. So if you want to pick up GTA 5 and pick up Cyberpunk and pick up Witcher and pick up Resident Evil, it's only $40 for those 4 games, for example. Speaking of another great game, Arkham Collection. This one's only on the Xbox. The PS4 version slightly higher, so this is going to be that threshold once again where you can get this for the 4 for $40. Arkham Collection comes with Asylum and City with all the DLCs. I love the Arkham games. I just made a top list. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the description below. It's my boss fights ranked from Arkham City. It was really fun. Red Dead Redemption 2, again, another game that hasn't gotten an upgrade yet, just like Arkham Collection, but This game looks amazing. It's one of my favorite games. It's much better than GTA 5. And when they do get an upgrade, it's probably not going to be too much of a difference. If it might be free, but it's Rockstar, so it's probably not going to be. But that game, I was talking about this game being $20 on Black Friday. This is literally $10 on just in January right now. I mean, it's pre-owned, yeah, but if you find it in the store, I'm sure you can find a good disc in the store. And LA Noire Remastered, very underrated Rockstar game. A lot of Rockstar games on this list. And yeah, definitely pick up LA Noire Remastered. It's the game with all the DLC. And for $10, since you're going 4 for $40, incredible. Up next, we're going to talk about Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 3 Fire Fades Edition. These games will count as well. Love Souls. If you love Dark Souls games, this is the sale for you for $10 a piece. You're not going to beat that. Up next, we have Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition for the Xbox Series X. This is not the PS5 version because that game is not under 20. This game actually is under 20, and I'm sure it's got the 120 Hz just like the PlayStation 5 version does, but an incredible deal for a game that literally people went nuts for $40 just months ago, and now it's $10. We're going to switch it up a little bit here. Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii. If you can find that for $10, obviously that's a massive deal. It's in stock online. I'm sure you're not going to get a case with this one especially, but again, a great deal. Bloodborne, one of my favorite games of all time on PlayStation, and yeah, this is definitely a Soulsborne game. Bloodborne, again, same price. You're going to get it for $10. Obviously, we've seen this for $10 when it was new before, but we're probably not going to see that much longer because this game's going to get rarer and rarer as it goes on. Up next, a game I think it's also a free upgrade, and if it is a free upgrade, this is a massive deal. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's not the one with Yuffie's DLC, but it's also nonetheless a great deal for $10 if you missed it on PlayStation Plus. And last but not least, Forza Horizon 4. If you want a different Forza game, this is Horizon 4 on this list. This is the obvious $20 one. The other one was $10, but you're getting this game for $10. So if you want the second newest Forza, here it is for the deal, 4 for $40. It's a great game to finish off here with the list with. Now, keep in mind, the fifth one's like $55, so that's not going to be on this list. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, just like the other one I did before, like a week or so ago. This was pretty much a way more in-depth version of the GameStop 4 for 20, 4 for 40 deal. And there are the do's and don'ts, and obviously I showed you guys some games I would pick up as well. Put in the comment section below if you picked up any of the games I've shown in today's video, or also put in the comment section below about the do's or don'ts. Do you think I can add any more to there? I thought I got a lot of them out there, but I might have missed some. Let me know in the comment section below. Stay awesome, stay positive, most of all, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the video for Monday. Peace out, guys.